we were talking about females.
Yes. Yes, females.
I was thinking about it. I was like, even some people like will come up to me and ask me for like advice, girl advice, or like, how do I talk to this girl? How do I get this girl? I want to ask this girl to banquet, and I'm like, I think I was reflecting more on like how to answer that. I think the key thing is expectations, especially as guys. Like we'll see a girl and be like, okay, I want to date her. I want to marry her. You know what I mean? From like a very little interaction.
Right.
And it's like, bro, the minute you put that expectation in your head, like, okay, I want this girl to be my girlfriend, like, you act different. You like you know what I mean? You don't become fully who you are. So that's what I don't know. I think that's a key thing I do is like when you go and talk to someone, even if you like them, don't expect anything. Like the best scenario, they're your friend. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's when it naturally flows.
And I feel like that is a key for relationships. I think not expecting anything, like you're saying, it allows you to become more of yourself.
Yes.
Because like you never notice for a girl you're trying to talk to versus a girl that you don't really care about in the sense that you're not trying to talk to. It's like you usually can be 100%.
You feel more like yourself.
Right. And honestly, I think about like all the girlfriends that I've had, girls that were friends that I wasn't trying to talk to. I was always 100% fluid with them, right?
Yeah.
And like that's the woman. It brings out more of your man qualities. It does.
For sure.
It does.
And so right now I'm actually in the between of deciding if I'm going to like Western or Southern.
Yeah.
Right. And my mom was like, yo, Jordy, wherever college you go to, even if you're not looking for females at this moment or a wife, still most likely wherever college you go to is going to be your wife. And she's saying, and I think understanding that and what we just talked about, no matter where you're at, a female, your wife, your woman or girl, whatever, is gonna that special person in your life is gonna bring characteristics out of you in any way. It could be negative, it could be positive, but you just need to find that partner that you want to have those characters brought out.
And I agree. I think oftentimes too, with like trying to navigate who you're getting with, especially for dudes. I think for girls and guys. Like my mother told me something a long time ago, and she said, "Caleb, what you see is what you get." And in other words, like if they're telling you, like what I find too is like oftentimes with dudes too, they'll be like, "Oh no, she's not really like this," and girls too, they'll be like, "Oh no, he's not really like this." But like most times, if a person tells you like, "Oh, you know, I'm this way or I'm that way," or like I could be controlling, I could be this or I could be that. Sometimes we'll be like, "Oh no, you shrug it off," but like in the end, what you see is what you get. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. However, I think also there can be improvement. But
absolutely.
But low-key facts though. A lot of the time people are like, "Oh, he said he was gonna change," and he never changes. Yeah. Or she says, "Oh, she's gonna change," she never changes. I think a key thing though, when people a lot of the time the misunderstanding of people like say what you see, what you get is like doesn't mean you don't communicate about it. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that like you don't like talk about it.
So key thing there is like we're all humans and we're all flawed.
Yeah.
So like that doesn't obviously yes, what you see is what you get, but recognizing that we're all on a journey to growth, right?
Yeah.
But, however, there are some people I think that
yeah. Some people I know. So like some people don't. No, we gotta keep it raw, and dirty, baby. Some people don't.
And here's the thing: I feel like I still think that, generally speaking, most humans all want to grow. Like most times we all want to change, right?
But there's a lot of people that are scared to change.
Right, and that comes, and honestly, I think that crosses over to finding true men. True women versus finding girls and boys.
I think what you need to do, and I think we need to find, and even human beings, anyone, no matter what sex, part of their characteristics needs to be changed. Like understanding. I don't know why, but I feel like I wanted to talk about this too. I feel like, especially nowadays age with the internet and all of the social media and everything, it feels like if you don't have a relationship, you're missing out. You know what I mean? Or if you don't have a relationship, it's like you should be having a relationship. Or even or other people like, oh, like what's the girl situation? My grandma would be like, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's like, why are so many people stressing the fact that like I need a relationship?
Dude, I think that's because of what we're seeing on social media. I think I think oftentimes we can get in a trap. I've been here myself of feeling like if I don't have someone else, that automatically means that I am flawed. Or rather, that means that
nobody likes me.
I would say maybe a higher degree. Yeah, nobody likes me, but also that means that I truly am not developed enough on my own journey. Right? So it's like kind of reverse. Like if I'm not in a relationship, that means that I'm just not ready for one. And therefore that means that something's wrong, that something's not taking place that needs to be taking place within me. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not truly developing into the human that I need to be. Versus on the other side of that is looking at like not being in a relationship oftentimes can be a gift because it does allow you not to necessarily focus on you only, but it allows you to prepare yourself, right? And sometimes I think like I think at the right time relationships occur, but while you're waiting on that relationship to be able to take space, to be able to truly work on your own character, work on your own self, to truly develop like holistically.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, but ultimately I think what's happening now is like people see people on media, on social media, on things, and it's like a verification to your entire being. Like, oh, you're in a relationship. Oh, then that means that you must have everything going on in your life. You know, so.
Yeah, I think. No, I was thinking about this. I think dating is key. You know what I mean? I think, especially like any parents that don't let their kids date. Like I understand that because you're a parent, but at the same time, like when you date, you understand more what you want, what you don't want, what works good with you, what's wrong with you. Like sometimes it points out your flaws. However, I would give my personal experience. I've dated around. I've dated a lot. I've talked to a lot of different people. And now I've realized a lot of reflection on myself and what I want and see in the future. And now I'm on my dry spell. You know, I'm in my dry era. I'm in my era that, like, I'm not looking for a relationship or going to be in there talking to any relationship. I may have friends, but they're not, and they're not anyone I would get in a relationship with.
Right.
And for at least a year or two.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at a point where, like, I need to focus on my degree, focus on getting school started. Maybe things get along. Maybe, like, fall semester, and second semester comes around. Maybe I'll look around. But right now, it's like, and also I think people are too complacent, bro. I feel like this is another topic. Like, I want to go in a little. It's like, I don't feel like there's a right person out there for you.
Interesting. Okay. So what? Explain that.
I feel like there's no one out there that is your quote unquote soulmate. However, I believe you can make someone into your soulmate. I believe that. I think my mom and dad are soulmates. However, that's because of time, loyalty, like all this. They've been together for 30-something years. You know what I mean? But because it's been over time, they've fit each other into that mold. If that makes any sense. But like right now, I could meet someone and like create a great connection. I think that's part of my flaw is the fact that I can create great connections. So it's like, if they're all great connections, what's the difference between them?
And perhaps I kind of like what you're saying there. 2 points there. One is that you're saying you can create connection with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a flaw. I think that's a gift of you're a very holistic person, Joey.
What does holistic mean?
You're very developed in the sense of I feel like you're doing well in school, right? But I think
when I want to.
Well, but what I'm saying is I think you're developed socially, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're also developed in the sense of like responsibilities. You're also very in tune with your emotions. So when I say like holistic, like because let's say a person can be in tune with their emotions, but they might not be necessarily responsible.
Like all around,
right? Responsible in let's say taking care of their work or paying their like maybe a few bills yet, but not, but like you understand what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
You could be, but you seem very holistic.
So
I think that's a gift. I think that's a beautiful thing that you're saying, that you can connect with multiple people.
I think what helps me is my perspective.
Yes,
I'm very good at looking at multiple different perspectives unemotionally with my objectively. I can look at it and then I can also put my emotions in and I understand my emotion extremely. So it's like I can relate because of that.
And that's what I'm saying, because like as you go along, I too am not. Wouldn't really subscribe to the soulmate in the sense that there's that one person, right? Because like what happens is, let's say you date this girl, you really like this girl, but this and this happens, whatever, and it doesn't work out, right? So oh snap, did I lose my soulmate?
Yeah.
Or do we adapt and find somebody else? That first girl that you date is not going to be the exact same as the second girl. She might be very different in many ways, right? Yeah. So it's like, oh, but do I stay hung up on that first girl, or do I find the beauty in this second girl, right? So not necessarily comparing, but finding, okay, that was her, but this is her, and I love her. I like her for these reasons.
For right? So many
that may be different than the.
This made me sound a little. This may be a little messed up.
Yeah.
But I understand now how parents will be like, "I love you so much." Yeah. But then at the same time, they love their other kids so much. But they can't. Yeah. They love each other equally. Not one more than the other. They still love each other. But it's. I felt the same thing. I still right now. I love two different girls. But there's such a different kind of love because there's such a different type of relationship. Right. It's a whole different thing, but it's still like some kind of love. Right. By the way, I've never told a girl I love her, and I still haven't to this day. I don't love them. I think that's an extreme, but it's a love type of feeling. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
But they're completely different.
And let's back up as well. So the reason though I agree with that second point, I mean with what you're saying about like not necessarily soulmates, is because. Or one person being the soulmate, because I think of it, it's like I think life is always changing, like it's constantly progressing, and it's like the same thing. I heard a great example a while ago. It's like if let's say you're going, like let's say you're in Chicago, right? Because it's a close city to us that has a transit system. You're in Chicago and you're going, I don't know, downtown, right? Yeah. And let's say it's 10 o'clock. Let's say you're running, you're trying to get to that bus. boom, bus is gone. 10 o'clock, you get there 10:01, bus is gone.
Sucks.
Right? So do you keep on trying to run to catch up with the bus? No, because that bus is gone.
Yeah.
But guess what? At 10:25, there's going to be a second bus. And guess what? That bus is also getting downtown.
Yeah.
So ultimately the destination is to get to a place, to be in love, to have solid relationship, and you're still going to go to the same place, but you're not going to get on that bus, right?
Speaking facts.
But guess what? There's going to be another bus. There's going to be another person that comes that will still get you to that end goal of love and happiness, et cetera, et cetera, right?
I think the key thing is, and I think this is why some people cheat too, is like the soul can connect to a lot of people. And the thing is, sometimes some connections, it's like the soul connects in some areas to one person. And there's I don't think so. Maybe over a long period of times, but there's still pieces of that your soul that cannot fully connect to some people. Not to some people, to anyone. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work. You're not the same person. However, then there's this other lady, let's say, give an example. Let's say I'm a man, I have a wife, I've been married forever, and I'm connected to let's say she understands like 87% or 90% of me. However, still there's some places I don't feel like she fully understands. And that's in any marriage. People may not talk about that, but that's reality. And however, then that guy has this one lady and her secretary that this fun, crazy side of him can connect his soul. So it's like that connection in the soul is like, this is why I believe that by quote unquote, by 21 Savage, loyalty, I'd rather have loyalty than love. Because love is the action of loyalty. Loyalty is like you keeping a guarded heart from anyone else. Because the minute you open that other side to it, it's like you're giving your love away, giving your loyalty away, giving that love away. Therefore, you're not fully loving someone. Because fully loving someone is uncommitted. Fully committed. Like locked down, like you, him, and God. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's one thing, especially successful in my mom and dad's relationship, is my mom is like, never met anyone as loyal to my mom. My mom is so loyal. So it's like, I think the fact that like, just how we wake up every single day and we have to choose God, it's the same thing in a relationship. Where like, I think there's times where like, you're gonna hate that person. There's times even even just dating a girl for 3 months, I was like, she was pissed. I was low-key pissed off by her.
Right.
But you just gotta be like, I have to still choose her every single day.
Right, I agree with that. It's like we had this worship thought today that was talking about like counting our blessings, right? And like if you woke up tomorrow, how many things would still be there based off of what you thank God for yesterday? And but the thought occurred to me too, like being in a relationship, like I've been dating this girl recently, and it's like I'll be honest. So if she ever sees this,
shout out, girl.
But honestly, before we started dating, like I would pray to God. I honestly, for this particular person that I'm dating, I fasted for like 2 months. Right?
What do you mean fasted?
Look, let me rephrase that. Not fast. No. I didn't fast. I prayed for 2 months. I fasted for I did a 10-day fast. My fault. But I prayed for 2 months. Like
got you.
Consistently every day.
Got you.
And I was like,
that's a lot for a girl.
It is. But that's based
you
off
wanted
of the
it clear.
fact. Yeah, I wanted clarity. But honestly, after a while, I was like, man, I think this is a person that I could definitely see myself marrying. That's what it came down to.
For me, bro, I differ. It's very hard for me. Is like, how much should I just be enjoying the thrill to the point where then it's like I have to choose the loyalty. Like I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm gonna try to clarify a little. It's because like in the beginning for me, it's fun. In the beginning, it's like, you guys are in puppy love. You know what I mean? And then the issues start coming. My question is, how long should I be able to feel that? Because a lot of for me is like the minute I stop feeling that. And it starts to get more serious, I'm like, okay, is this too soon? I'm feeling this. Is this too wrong? Then I should break up. Like, when in the dating do you decide to like take it more serious and when to not take it serious? Like that's I don't know. Like I think that's my issue.
Well, how old are you?
17.
17. That's a great question.
I think maybe I just rush it. I think a lot of it's just rushing.
I'll go from my own personal experience.
Yeah, let me hear it.
So let's see. I was in college my senior year, right, at Oakwood, right. Anyway, I was briefly for about probably we'll say 3 weeks tops, I was talking to this girl, right? By week 2, this girl's a freshman, by the way. I'm a senior, right? And like I was a little bit. So let's see. I was like,
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's a little bit of a case, Caleb.
A little
CC case, Caleb.
Okay, but check this out though. Check this out. But this girl was extremely very mature, and like you. So like I recognize she was very mature. Right? But let's see. 2 weeks in, she's like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What are we doing?" She's like, well, "Are we gonna start dating?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like this is."
Are you guys going on dates and stuff or no?
Not even dates. We're just walking around campus. I think for whatever reason, I didn't have a car at the time either. So I know I definitely
No shade.
Relax. I got a car shortly after that. But like I didn't have a car. And so we were just walking around campus, whatever. And she's like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean?
We're talking.
Like we're just getting to know each other, you know?" And she was like, "Well, are you gonna make me your girlfriend soon?" I was like, "I don't know. Like this is week 2." Anyway, so whatever, it doesn't work out. I tell her like, "Hey, I'm not. This ain't it." Probably not even a week later. Probably about 2 days, and I'm being generous when I say 2 days, right? 2 days later, I see her with this other homie that was trying to like snag her while I was talking to her, right? But what is my point?
Boy wanted it back. I know he did.
This girl. I want. That's another story. But the main point here is, within probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, maybe they were married. So this girl coming in is like 18, 19, right? And she got married probably like when she's about 20.
So she was ready.
But what is my point? My point is it varies greatly depending on the person, right? And this is where like what we're talking about, like character development and truly like becoming our best selves or our better selves than what we are comes into place, right? And also just a state, and that could vary for different people. And a person could be like mentally mature or whatever, have great character, but they still could also say, "Hey, I'm not necessarily ready." But that also comes with maturity as well, because a lot of people get married that have no business getting married, right? And then some people stay single that are actually ready to get married. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it very much it greatly depends on the person. Like if you think about it, 50 years ago, people were often regularly getting married at 19 and 20 years old. Yeah. Because your parents got married like 19?
Like 2019.
20 and 19. Yeah. My grandfather got married like 17, 18, right? And my grandmother was like 17, 18 as well.
What do you think about that? What do you think about young marriage to like older marriage?
Let me tell you this. My grandparents have been married for like 60 plus years, right? And it's been a good relationship. Like I can see character flaws, but who doesn't have character? But they have a very, very stable marriage, right? And they produce like my mother and my aunt, a very stable household, right?
How old do they have them?
Probably like they probably had my aunt came first, maybe 2 years after they got married.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's young.
They were very young, very.
So you have young grandparents.
I have young grandparents. Yeah, but somebody could say, well, that was back then, whatever. I would say there were a lot of factors that led.
Even though it was back then, that was probably better. There's things that we've changed in our culture that are not good. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So because back then they were just oftentimes more mentally mature. Yeah. Because of the responsibilities they had to shoulder.
Worse like things influencing. Now we have bad influences. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
I think then it was kind of more like, I think it was better back then. I think this. I was even talking about this about someone. Young relationships, I think, are good because you grow together. You create a foundation together. However, at the same time, I think it's good to have somewhat of a foundation of yourself first. So I think it really depends on the person, but like not too old where it's like where you could become so like confident and like you have such a big foundation on yourself where it's like hard to grow together. I think a lot of people that when you get to 30 or something, it's like, bro, it's two different worlds.
I agree with that.
You know?
I would agree. Yeah.
But like at the same time, bro, I think the hard part for me is like, I mean now at least, is like commitment, bro. Like I don't know how, like because especially because I believe that it's hard for me. Like, I don't fully believe in a soulmate, so it's like I feel connected to like different girls, and it's like it's not like I'm getting new girls in my life. It's like those old girls I still somewhat like stay in contact every few months. I'll like reach out or they'll reach out to me, and it's like all of them have some part of my soul. It's like I don't know how I could fully commit to all of them like separately.
Wow.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, man. But I think that comes to, well, obviously,
I sound like a.
it comes. I mean, yeah. Ultimately, you have to choose. You know, as it comes down to choice. But like, I think the person who I'm dating now is like, I came to a realization that that the things, I wouldn't even say the things that were bad with her outweigh the things that were good. I would say that I saw the fullness of her character and I saw that how lovely it was, right? And I also saw that, man, I think that that's really compatible with who I am, right? And that was just a journey of reflection. And that took a lot of time and that took a lot of friendship with her, just being friends, or like talking some, and then also just being friends with her that helped me to see that fully. Versus like these other people over here, I think this person is truly worth committing solely to, right? But I think that comes with time, and that also comes with like as you talk to girls and like as you get a little more familiar with yourself, if or yeah, I think that just comes with the experience, right? And getting familiar and comfortable, like really knowing yourself, because like what happened with me is like I realized over time, like, okay, nah, like I see who I am, I see like where I'm going, and I think that complements me. I think she complements me perfectly in my life and like my goals, et cetera, et cetera. But I also think like I complement her perfectly as well.
That's good.
I
I think that's amazing. Like I think for me, it's like that's why also I'm like in a like stage of like I don't see myself dating at all because it's like for me to date someone now it's like so it was like this in the past but more now than ever it's like you really have to see them like a perfect like you know what I mean like in a long term like I it's like I don't know how to explain it. I just.
So what do you mean you have to see them long term? What do you mean by that?
It's like if I'm dating someone, it's like then I start seeing their characteristics and I starting to see that like, oh wait, I don't want that. I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, I love this. I love that. And it's like, okay, but it's not worth it. I'd rather not be in a relationship. I'd rather know all of that before I'm like, let's date. You know what I mean? Like before I ask them to be my girlfriend.
Okay. And here is something I agree with. And some people even some people close to me disagree with the method of like truly being friends with girls, like that you're interested in before you date them. Because some people will be like, nah, let's date so we can get acquainted. But I'm like, let's be friends.
I like that, yeah.
So we can become acquainted to then date.
Yeah.
And I think it's two different schools of thought. Like some people are like, I want a soulmate who becomes my friend. And some people will be like, I just want a friend who then becomes my soulmate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah, me too. I'm very much like, yeah.
I rather like fall in love with someone that like I enjoy spending time around.
Right.
Like just like love hanging out with and spending like that's the key. Like
because and I agree with you because I'm like, how can I actually know you if we just off the jump start talking, start dating, and then it's always kind of like, are you really this way or are you really this way? Versus like we're friends. Nobody really cares. I mean, you can secretly like me. I might secretly like you, but I mean, you're still free to just be yourself more fully, right? Because if they're friends, you're more likely to tell them deep secret, whatever.
I think also when you're I agree. You're more your guards down. But when I feel like one thing that I didn't fully realize until I started getting older is how right like the Christian and like SDA message is on like bro like not only saving yourself but like just setting boundaries for yourself in the beginning of a relationship for a long period of time. Like the connection is way better than like it's like you skip so many steps.
Yeah. You're talking. I agree.
I say
in
like
short, I agree.
It's like, and then I've realized that because I've seen the end of multiple relationships, and I've seen like there's so much that needed to grow on the foundation. And like I always thought it was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter where we start. Like we'll still build that foundation. But no, you need like you won't have a foundation if you don't start with a foundation. That's why also I think like starting with friends, it helps you build that foundation. Yeah. And then even in your relationship, your transitioning will help you create still boundaries because you still respect them as a person. Like
no, that's true. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's honestly starting like friendship is being friends with a person. I think is truly starting from the beginning as well, because yes, it does create more. I think the boundaries are more realistic versus if you just off the jump start dating. You're gonna have expectations sometimes.
But don't get me wrong. I don't think that you can like. I think sometimes you can find a what's it called?
I agree.
What's it called? And then make her your friend.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
But it's less. It's rare.
I think that it's a
rare.
lot harder.
It's a
though.
lot harder,
I think
and it's
harder.
rare.
Yeah, I think it's harder to do it that way.
It's way rarer.
I think it's harder. I think that sometimes that could. I mean, I've seen it work a lot, but also I think that like, not being friends first.
It's like a blind date. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly, man. It's a box of chocolates.
Yeah,
you don't know what you don't know, and then you don't even know. Most times you don't know what flavor is just by looking at it. You don't know if it's gonna be filled with caramel or like whatever, like cream filling. You don't know what it's gonna be. But yeah, that friendship layer first. Oftentimes it eliminates that the process of like guessing as well as masking certain parts of ourselves, and allows things to just develop very, very naturally, which is what I enjoy.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, anything else we need to get raw and dirty in?
Oh,
any more questions for me, Caleb?
Man, do I have any questions for you?
Oh goodness. Put me on the stand. Put me on the stand. If I don't want to answer, I'll plead the fifth. I'm kidding. There's nothing I wouldn't answer, bro. To be honest, I'm pretty open.
Man, so how many girlfriends have you had?
What do we classify as girlfriend?
Oh, see, because dude, okay. Let me ask you this: like, how many people? You're in high school.
Yeah.
How many people around you actually have like girlfriend, like legitimate?
Not that. And public school is way more than like a private school, cause like also
that have girlfriends.
Yeah. Especially because like private school is so much more. Especially at SDA private school, it's way more like, how do you explain it? Like everybody's in everybody's business, and in a way that it's like, I'll give you an example. Something crazy here could be like, oh, this person and this person did that. That in a public school is nothing even crazy. People in the hallways doing like marijuana, weed. You know what I'm talking, like some crazy stuff. So it's like their comparison level is like out of the window. So like something that'll happen, I'm like here, everybody will freak up about it. I'm like, bro, chillax, like ain't that deep, you know? So like relationship, little things like that are spread quicker. You know what I mean? So it's like people don't want their name just thrown out in the air. You know what I mean? They're like way more like think about it smarter. It's not like just gonna go and like date or hang out. Cause
do you think people take relationships more seriously here or less seriously?
Way more serious here.
Like, and maybe I feel like maybe it's that Christian mindset as well of like, whoever I'm dating, it will be my soon forever married person. You know what I'm saying? Versus like in public school, I think a lot of times people are just like, whatever you're dating, okay. High school, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you feel? Well, you said right now you're not officially.
Yeah, I can still answer it before or after. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you can ask me whatever.
Do you feel like? Are you at a comfortable place where you just are good not dating or like? Really? 100%. 100%. You said that with ease. Too.
Yeah, I'm so actually like a good place. Like I know everything. Yeah. Like. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but literally, there's females I'll have to push away. Like females, females that will come in my life or something that will try to come in my life, and I'm just like, I'm not like pushing them away. I'm just like not going after it. You know what I mean? Or kind of just letting it be, because I'm just not like there, bro. Like to me, it's also like, how do you explain it? I've done it. I've gotten it. I've done it multiple times. Like I'm drained. Like I know that sounds messed, like we like kind of messed up. It's like a lot of the time, especially when it's a guy perspective, it's like, oh, you get that girl. Oh, bag her. She's so bad. You know what I mean? Oh, good stuff. But like, when at the time you're not gonna realize like you're the one actually getting slutted out. Like, I think that was kind of actually what happened to me. Is like a lot of the times it's like if a girl was me, bro, she would get shamed on. Like she would get shamed on.
If a girl is with you?
No, if a girl was me, like a girl was in my shoes and did everything I've done, or like you know what I mean, she would get more hated on. Right. But because I'm a guy, I'll get praised on. You know what I'm trying to say? Right, and then I came to a point where I was like, That's so stupid.
And do you feel like you get praised on by guys and girls, or just guys?
Guys and girls.
Guys and girls.
For sure.
So would you? Let me ask you this: do you feel like is the praise different from guys and girls?
Yeah, I think guys are more like, wow, you know what I mean.
Versus-
Girls are more like, I'm very smart the way I things I do. Like the way I stand on my business, the way I move stuff around, like I think about it. Like I'm not stupid. Like I understand how girls think, and I understand if I do an action, who all's gonna know. Like you know what I mean? I think about the after effects. I'm not just stupid. So it's like I kind of make sure and I kind of limit it what everybody knows about me. So it's like, but at the end of the day, I know what I know about me, and that's what only matters. But a lot of time is like, so what was your question? Like I go everywhere. Like what was your question?
I'm curious. Like,
Yeah.
is there a difference between? Because you said like you
Yeah.
get praised, versus like if it was a girl, she wouldn't get praised. She gets shamed.
Yeah.
Like, but I was just saying, like, is there a difference between?
I
the
don't
way
think I
guys-
let girls see that side more than guys.
Yeah.
I think I let guys to see that more side because it's like I'm trying to show them it's not that deep. Like I think a lot of the times like guys overthink. I think especially this age. I think when they get older, it's chiller more.
Yeah.
But especially at this age, it's like it's not that deep, and people take everything so deep. Like you can go talk to a girl and just have a conversation. Someone down around the corner. This is high school. W Riz, you know?
Right.
Like, bro, it's like chillax, bro. It ain't that deep.
Right.
And
Do you feel like it's more Christian school though, or like Christian?
yeah.
Christian way of just processing that makes things more deeply? Because I feel like let's say in public school,
Yeah.
it might be a little bit easier to just talk to whoever and not the whole world be like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I think that is also, but I also think it's just like people insecurity. Like I'll give you an example. I'm not gonna name drop, but there's this person. Let's get some code names out here. Literally, this is my friend. I have a project with her. I'm doing things like just friend, right? Anyway.
do you want to change the name?
Yeah.
I think we need to change the name. Because I know who you're talking about.
That's crazy. Let's just say Noodles.
There we go.
Let's say
We'll
Noodles.
cut that part
All right.
out.
Noodles.
Yeah.
So this person named Noodles. I'm talking to this. Fact that I have that charisma or that kind of thing,
Right.
Boy got jealous, and then he told like some guys that he was like that I was trying to do something. Like, bro, I was having a conversation.
got a
I was
little
leaving
jelly.
to Peru, and I said bye.
A little jelly.
I was like, it's like things like that. It's just immaturity and like realization is like, bro, it's not that deep.
Right. And you know, I feel like
That's what I mean by high school, bro.
yeah, that's high
Yeah.
school. You know, I think like I appreciate how you're developing, because I think you're creating a more holistic type of personality for yourself, you know, if you're just for the
Yeah.
future as well. Because like the reality is like, yeah, eventually I believe you'll get married, whatever. And like along the way you'll find somebody who you really just want to like,
Hopefully.
man, you know, I think so. But it's like,
Hey, you're invited to my wedding, G.
Thank you.
If that happens.
I appreciate that.
I got you, baby girl.
But I just feel like, bro, like, I think, like, honestly, in life, you even, let's say, you know, take the most loyal person who, you know, the most loyal relationship, right? But, like, you're not going to really, it's not realistic to just always talk to that person. Like, you'll encounter people along the way, right? Females, males, you know, vice versa. Who right? Like, who you still... I'm not even talking about. I'm just talking about just like in life, like how to navigate between people, like how to be able to talk to people that aren't your significant other.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that's something to be said. Like on one side, honestly I don't think it's. I think 95% of the time, guys and girls, there's usually something going on. Even if they're just friends, there's usually the guy likes the girl likes the guy, or they both like each other and they're just not saying it. Right. That's I think 95% of the time. Generally speaking, that's true. But like,
You think even for like people in their 30s
I think that,
or like 20s?
and here's the thing, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I would say from zero all the way up to college, little past college, I think that it
I
holds
agree.
true.
I
think it
agree.
hold that 95% rule. I think it holds true.
I think no matter what, if you're attractive and you're attracted to the other person, let's get a 1 to 10. There's always going to be that one where, like, even though you may not know that person too much, but because you both are physically attracted,
Yes.
there's still that little bit of tension.
Yes, I agree. So honestly, do I think it goes away? I don't think it does.
I don't think that attraction ever goes away.
I think that just as you become older, either you learn how to manage it,
yes,
or you don't. Because if you think
Key.
about it, that's why we still see relationships that fail
Yeah.
when they're well into like 30s, 40s, 50s, right?
And I think that, like, solid point. I think you learn how to manage it or you learn not to.
Yeah.
And I think that just all comes with maturity.
Yep.
Like for me, I'll feel attracted to some people, but it's like I realize it's like, why? And then that fear of like that attraction or anything goes straight out the window. Of course, it's still somewhat there, but in my head, it's straight out the window. To me, they're just a person.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, I appreciate the track that you're on in terms of like just really getting to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because as you go on, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just like hide under a rock with just your significant other and be like, nah, girl, it's just you, and I ain't gonna talk to nobody else in the entire world.
No.
Like, and you're still gonna see other attractive people, and like you're a handsome young man, right? So like, when you go out into the world, there's gonna be handsome women.
Yep.
And it's like, what do I do with that? Like, do I just not talk to anybody and be kind of weird? Or like, because I think that you still can facilitate healthy relationships as you go on. But it's like,
what we need, and for the all to work out, especially the thing that our generation needs to do, is set boundaries. Like relationships, you need boundaries. And like, I think you need to guys talk about things that like you need to talk about things that are gonna happen in a relationship. Like, until they get to them, and then you both are screwed because then your emotions are involved, and then she knows that you're gonna be mad, or she knows, or you know she's gonna be mad. So it's like it's just not the same if you don't talk about it before. An example is like, okay, what do you like if we're starting to dating, or how do you do you want to go Saturday nights? Like, are you a person that likes to go clubbing? Like, are you gonna want to go by yourself? How are you gonna dress? Like, things that need to be discussed sooner than later. Because the minute they discuss and the moment, it looks terrible. Like,
I like that. I like the fact that you're saying like, when we get in a relationship, do you want to go club? Because like, here's the thing. I think that oftentimes people as well, when you start dating, right? And this is like, let's say high school for sure, and like entering college, or even all the way throughout college. Sometimes people are like, oh, let's not talk about serious things so let's not talk about like finances or I would say more marriage things. But you're saying like, do you want to go clubbing? Which is very much a thing that's like when you get married, most people probably aren't going to go to the club, right?
Yeah.
But before that, I think we should start talking, like you're saying, talk about things that are relevant to the now versus like thinking about marriage, because marriage could be long off for some people. Like, let's say some people in high school, marriage for a lot of us is going to be far off. Like, if you're just starting college, some people all the way through college, marriage is still far off.
Yeah.
So are you just not going to talk about anything because that's serious because you're saying, oh, those are all marriage questions?
Yeah.
Or should you just reorient the things that are serious to you in the now? So like, are you going to go clubbing? Or like, do you have guy girlfriends? Like, things that are relevant now, because I think that also allows you to prepare.
It's like, she boxed almost every box on my lip. However, she's like had no personality.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like,
wait, what?
It's like I was dating myself. Like she create all her like her identity was slowly more and more me. You know what I mean? And she didn't know like how to flirt very well. She didn't know how to have so many conversations. And I rushed into it because I saw this perfect girlfriend, and I was like, I can't let this go. And like, at the end of the day, this is where I struggle with, is like, how much do they have to be the perfect person, like on paper, compared to like how much you just want to love that person.
All right, so those are two different things that I think are worth mentioning, because like, although it is true you want somebody who's loyal, who's responsible, who's able to like manage their emotions well, who's emotionally intelligent in general, like all of those things, right? But then you also want somebody who like really just gets you on fire, like just sets you, like really like, man, I love being around that person. And those things are not always the same, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, there's a lot of people that there's 7 billion people who wake up every morning. Well, there's 7 billion people in the world, right? Or a little bit more than that now. So let's just say at least half of them, probably more than half of there's 6 billion people in the world who wake up every morning, who go to work, who pay their bills, who do all of that, but may or may not be compatible, with you. And let's say they have the same values as you as well. Throw that in as well. Let's say they're also Christians, all of that stuff.
It's a very small population.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that person is for you. And what I found as well in dating is like, I'll tell people, honestly, there's probably been only one person in my life who I was like afterwards, I'll tell like people like, yeah, that just wasn't a good person.
Yeah.
Right? but the majority of people, most times in my relationships, it's been good. Then we had some problems. And then eventually we broke up. Right.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. But almost every single woman that I've dated, I've always tell people afterwards, that was a great person, like really fantastic, amazing.
Exactly.
But they weren't for me.
Exactly.
Right. Because we got together because we did have a lot of the same things. We had, obviously they were like, they were probably loyal to a certain extent. They had good character, et cetera, et cetera. They checked all the boxes that I thought. But then there was this other part of me that just found that, hey, they weren't really completely what I was looking for. And that's okay, because there's a difference between being...
So when do you realize that, like, to me, it's like, is it just me that I'm like, oh, they're not for me? Or will you just know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, will you just know, oh, this person's for me?
I'll go back to the girl. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you
off.
No,
you good. No, I didn't have to say anything.
I'll go back to the girl.
I was thinking.
I'll go back to the girl in college when I was a senior and she was a freshman, right? She checked off all the boxes that I thought, like, oh man, this is the girl. Like, she's fiercely loyal. Like, she has like a very self-sufficient, she can take care of herself, but then she wants me to take care of her. She wants, she's this, she's Christian, she actually loves God, like
everything. Boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
All the boxes, bro. But you know what I told her, bro, in my final conversation? When I broke it off, I was like, she's just not for me, because I just don't have that feeling for her,
Yeah.
And like, what point does it, sometimes it took me like 2 weeks, but like, sometimes it takes longer, But I think you have to...
I know this, and I think getting older and realizing this, it's like a battle between myself, because it's like part of myself like thinks that, like, from what my parents told me, oh, Jordy, talking about so many relationships, they weren't like this and this, and they ended up not working. I feel like, yes, you need a lot of those boxes check off, but at the end of the day, bro, I just want to find someone that I want to spend my rest of my life with, and like someone that I can, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think, I may not, I don't know, stay Seventh-day Adventist, but one thing I know for sure is I love Jesus and I have a fear for God, and I always want him in my life, So I want my relationship to always have God in there. I saw a triangle, and it was like, imagine this triangle. Imagine the triangle like this, right? If you, and God's in the middle, right? And this is like husband and wife. If they're farther away from Jesus, they're farther away from each other. However, the closer they are together, the closer they're to Jesus, the closer they are together. So if they were here, they'd be closer to Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? The triangle?
We got it. I like it.
So, and not only that, but just having Jesus in a relationship, bro. It's like you guys connect. You guys are on a deeper level. And even conversations like this, I think this is a key thing I need in a relationship. If you can't talk like this with me, if we can't sit down an hour or two a week talking like this, it ain't happening. It ain't going, dog. So because I know there's so many things I want, and there's so many things that I feel like for me for all that to be ready. Like right now, there's no point in me dating. Like there's no point. What am I gonna have a girlfriend? Maybe or may not take her to college, and then that's gonna be processed. And then I'm gonna get to college, and then she's gonna be there. I'm just gonna wait 2 years or 1 year. I'm setting my degree, and then I'll maybe start looking. Doesn't that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, right? I agree with you.
Yeah. What we were talking about before, though?
We were talking about like just really finding a person. yeah, you just like how do you find that person, and like how do you I think part of like how do you find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with? I think part of it is like you're saying, because there will come oftentimes in life people who are really good people. Like most people that date other people are not gonna date somebody off the jump who they just think is like not a good person, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like you're gonna, especially when you're intentional about dating, right? Not even just not marrying, even just dating, right? When you're intentional about that, you're gonna usually want to look for somebody. Naturally look for somebody who you think is a good person, right? And who you're just off the jump attracted to, maybe because of the way they look. Because
Guess it just texted me. You can't say the name. We gotta give a code name.
Wait, can I just say the first letter?
Yeah.
The L.
Yeah. We're gonna call her.
Can we call her Lillian?
Lillian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess that up.
Okay, fine. What you wanna call her?
Liliana.
Okay, he put a little Spanish flavor in it.
Liliana, you know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty hard to like. No,
that's a nice name.
Liliana.
Like
Yeah, Liliana just texted me.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Shoot.
But yeah, like, but you also have to recognize, like, be willing to walk away even from somebody who's good.
Yeah. Actually, I have another. I want to talk about another thing.
Yeah, if you realize that that person isn't the best for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, no, I agree, but it's hard sometimes.
It's hard sometimes. Especially the better they are.
Yeah.
The harder it is to walk away.
Yeah, especially when
even if you know that like this person truly isn't my person.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just want them though.
Yeah, and you just want and then other people are a lot of times they be like, oh, bro, like, hey, you should get with, you've got,
And then especially when you know that like they not be good for you. Yeah. But like a lot of people either want them. Yeah. As a guy, bro, you just want them even more.
Yes,
if you know they, maybe that's just a human thing too. Though.
I think it's human.
It's like the minute you know, like
they got other people lined
options,
up. Oh my
especially when they're good options.
Yeah. Then you feel real stupid.
Yeah,
because
it's like she has a D1 person on her roster. It's like it's like, bro, what?
Right, because it's different too when you just got like a bunch of like scrubs lined up. And you're like, oh, I'm the best.
Chilly, bro.
Yeah. But then when you got other,
she's getting scouted out there, bro. I'm like, frick.
But